How many dates does a lady have to go on before she finds her prince? 5, 10, or even 20? It can really be frustrating sometimes, especially when it goes awful at the very instance. This innocent lady, Sarah, just passed through the same heck this evening. Can you imagine that the guy couldn't even remember her name? What's more pathetic is that Sarah's friend Lizzie introduced her to this guy. All Sarah wants is a decent guy, but why is it so hard to find? Guess what? She was about to face another drama with the security man at the estate gate, Kabiru. It was 10 o'clock and nobody was allowed to pass through the back gate after this hour. Kabiru loves his job and the law definitely applies to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Should Sarah go through the stress of turning through to the front gate? To her, it wasn't necessary. She had to pass through the fence, but she got stuck there, and an occupant of the estate, Michael, caught her and made a mockery of her by taking pictures. He had to help her though, but she begged him to delete the pictures of her that he just took. Michael gave her his phone to delete the pictures herself, not until she saw half-naked pictures of women in his gallery while scrolling. Sarah told Lizzie about her experience with Michael, she had just met. But Lizzie will always remind her friend that not every man is like her ex-boyfriend who maltreated her during the course of their relationship. To be honest, Sarah suffered brutality and pain in the hands of this guy that she almost lost her self-esteem. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am successful. I am a phenomenal woman. And I am great. These were her words of affirmation every morning to build her confidence back. It's the usual busy day and Sarah had some clothing materials to pick up for her business, and suddenly her phone beeps. It was him again. All hell was about to break loose. Sarah has to find safety. It has really been a stressful day already for Sarah without even starting. All she needed was to reaffirm her confidence. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am successful. I am a phenomenal woman. And I am great. You could imagine what this innocent lady might have passed through. Sarah had worked all day and it's getting late. She's gonna face Kabiru's barrage again, but this time, she was ready to give it back to him, not until it turned against her. Her cloth got torn while she was trying to force her way in. It was really embarrassing as she tried to manage herself home. Then she met this caring, cute young man, Fred. Fred helped give her his blazer to cover herself. I guess he is the kind of chivalrous man Sarah always wanted. They really had a friendly conversation and then exchanged contact. And she promised to return the jacket once she dry cleans it. Sarah couldn't wait to call Fred the following day. Like she was literally trying to come up with the right words before calling him, which she later did. But somehow Fred was in a meeting with a big client, Adeshola, whom he was about to close a deal with. Fred didn't pick up. Fred called back later, which she had been waiting for. She wanted to return his blazer, but Fred already had the idea of going on a date with her. While she was still on call, Lizzie came in and was eavesdropping on their conversation. Lizzie can't wait to see her friend happy again. She wanted to know this guy who has once again put a smile on her friend's face. Lizzie insisted that Sarah must go even when she was still in doubt about it. Lizzie even elected to buy her a dress from Sarah's own shop to match the date. What a wonderful friend she is. But before the wrap-up for the day, Sarah had a customer who wanted to pick up some clothes. She told Sarah that her big brother was coming to pay for the clothes. As distressing as it may be, it was Michael. He got to know that Sarah owns the boutique, but everything about how they met was still amusing to him that he won't stop making mockery of Sarah. On D-Day, Sarah met with Fred and they had fun all day. It's time for Fred to make his intentions known to her. Sarah just wants him to be kind. But kindness is not just something you see from the first day. This means they need to spend more time together. Sarah is pressed and needed to use the restroom. She came back to find Fred in the arms of another woman. Not again. Why are all men like this? At least he should have respected the fact that they were on a date. Sarah instantly blocked and deleted his number and left. But was that really what happened? As surprising as it may look, Michael brought a big client to Sarah's store for a business proposition, and after some evaluation, Sarah was in business. She was going to provide costumes for an agency that specializes in modeling. Michael is actually one of the few recognized photographers who does shootings for fashion magazines and models. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Sarah still has to think about the business proposal because she believes that first impressions really do matter. Fred hasn't been himself ever since that night. No calls or text. Neither does he know where to find Sarah. But Sarah just seems to move on after what happened without having much thought about it. She finally agreed to work with Michael, and everyone has been complimenting her about her designs. Why is it that whenever things want to go well, something somewhere just wants to ruin it? Can you believe that her ex was still after her? After a long session at work, Sarah just wanted to go home. I guess her day was already ruined. Michael helped her book a taxi, and while she was on her way out, Fred was driving in, but they didn't see each other. Fred and Michael are actually friends, and they had to drink and talk about it. Michael knew his friend was worried and wanted to know what it was. Fred told him about Sarah, but he hadn't seen or heard from her after that night. Michael told him that Kabiru, the security man, can help them find her. That sounded more like a good idea. The same night Sarah got home, and to her biggest shock, the monster was already in her house waiting for her. Sarah nearly jumped out of her skin when she saw her ex-boyfriend. The next morning at the office, Fred doesn't feel himself any longer. He smelled danger, but tried to comport himself in the presence of his client, Adeshola. As soon as the meeting was over, he left the office in search of Sarah. Thanks to Kabiru, Fred found her apartment in the estate, but Lizzie wouldn't let him in. Sarah has been brutalized again and doesn't want to see anyone. Lizzie tried to be there for her friend in her trying moments, but Fred didn't go. While he was waiting, Lizzie left, then he went back. Sarah opened the door, and Fred knew he was right about his instincts, but he couldn't figure out what the problem was. Sarah cried without saying a word all day before she slept off. Sarah wasn't seen around for days while she was trying to put herself back together. Michael came every day looking for her in her store until the day she resumed. He got to find out about her predicament and wanted to know who did this to her, but Sarah kept being hostile to him and wouldn't let him get involved in her personal life, although they still had unfinished business together as a team for the modeling agency. Sarah also got to know Vera, Michael's sister. Michael is not happy with the fact that his kid's sister can't stay away from alcohol for a minute, even while on set. Sarah had the opportunity to apologize to Michael for her attitude towards him, and they were good again. He brought her home this time. Sarah almost gasped out when she saw Fred and his client. That's him. Adeshola has been the thorn in her flesh. Michael got his chance to tell him his mind. Fred was shocked to see her once again, and even though he couldn't figure out what was going on, he just wanted to settle the dispute between them, especially when it has to do with his biggest client. Fred had to go after her. Sarah doesn't want to even look at him or anyone that has anything to do with her ex. Fred tried to explain his relationship with Adeshola, and how about her seeing another woman in his arms at the park the other night? Sarah was wrong all this while. She got to find out that it was Vera. Regardless of everything, she still can't deal with everything that has happened. Sarah still wanted to be sure of Fred. She asked Michael what he thinks about him when she had the chance to. Michael is not just a good guy, but he also can't stop thinking about her. She shouldn't let her past take a hold on her future. Now she really can't wait to see him. Michael brought Sarah back again. Just while they got inside, Adeshola ambushed him and he fell to the ground. He was dragging Sarah like a piece of rag on the staircase when Fred came in. Fred wouldn't watch that happen. It got into a fierce combat between the guys, and Sarah got the chance to unleash her little tiny muscles on him. From the stairs to the kitchen, while they had it on each other, Adeshola wouldn't let them have their way on him like that, but the both of them just seemed to overpower him. Sarah was really grateful to Fred for coming in for her when she needed him the most. Fortunately for Michael, he survived the smack on his head. They needed to call the security on Adeshola, and Sarah found peace once again. Thanks for watching. Please comment your thoughts and also like and share this video for more super amazing videos that we are bringing to you. And if you're watching from our YouTube channel, you can also subscribe and turn on your notification for more. Thank you.